What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Now, a lot of people have been asking where has international cricket captain gone. Here it is back, and we are playing the 5th one-day international against India. Now, you wouldn't think that we would be able to get a series win against these guys, let alone potentially a series whitewash. So today, we are up 4-0 in the 5th one-day international. So a chance to clean sweep India in India. And this is without some key players as well. This is without Tim Southee. I must say that Tommy Latham has been an absolute godsend for us. Basically, just in this series, I think he has hit in the 4 innings he has played 200s and 250s, and 2 big hundreds that he got as well. So hopefully he can carry on that. No Guptill here today. I am opening up with BJ Watling just to give him a bit of a run. We've been using George Worker as a number 5, number 6. Just again to ease the workload of a few of the players. And it does seem to be working quite well. He seems to be fairly effective with the bat, does a job with the ball as well, just a bit of a stopping role, and hopefully we can carry on and build that. But the one good thing that has come out of this tour is the young players. So the likes I'm talking about, Ben Wheeler, who recently has been called up, also recalled to the Blackcaps for the T20 series against Bangladesh. Adam Milne's been very good for me. Colin Munro as well, not necessarily a younger player, but a newer player to the setup. He has done extremely well with the bat, and he has done a little bit with the ball as well, which is always quite handy too. Just one of those guys who bats normally inside the top 6, I should say, sorry, and is going to go and give you just a little bit of another option when it comes to the bowling. So Watling has been the aggressor so far. Tommy Latham surprisingly has been quite subdued, which is strange because normally he is up there. His strike rate is a lot more than 30. But hopefully he can stick around, give us another good knock, because as I said, he has been in tremendous form on this tour and really has set us up not only for big totals, but has helped us chase him down. A lot of those, a lot of those hundreds and a lot of those innings that he has had have come in chases, but he's not going to get the chance today. He's gone for 14. In now comes King Captain Kane. So as you can see, Ross Taylor next, Worker at 5, Nichols at 6. Nichols has been good. He scored 100 for me in the tests. Hasn't really done as much in the one-dayers, but again, what I'm really trying to do with this New Zealand side is just go and build up a bit of depth, because that's something that I think, under Brendan McCullum heading back, a couple of years, that's when New Zealand were really, really strong. And New Zealand, I think, probably bowling more than batting, do have a lot of depth. You look at the guys at the moment in the New Zealand side that aren't playing. Obviously, Doug Bracewell. We've got Lockie Ferguson in there, who was bowling well since he's come in for his debut, bowling with good heat. Doug Bracewell, as I did just mention. Adam Milne, who's coming back from injury. Trent Boult and Southee, who obviously we use very well. Santner, who is now like our number 1 limited overs spinner. You've got Ishsodi in there as well. I'm just trying to think of some other guys. Ben Wheeler, who's obviously just been recalled. But there is a lot of depth in there. Neil Wagner, who probably, is more considered a test specialist for us. But, can do a job in the limited overs game as well. So the depth there is good. The batting depth is starting to get there as BJ Watling goes and brings up his 50. That coming off just 62 deliveries. So he is really doing a fine job when I wouldn't say the others have struggled, but we have really struggled. Well, I don't want to say that we struggled, but then I say struggle in the sentence, so that doesn't really make sense. But they have just had a bit of trouble really rotating the strike and getting that strike rate up. We saw that with Tommy Latham only striking at about 30. And just as I say that, Watling has gone and got himself out LBW. So that one there, pretty good from Ashwin, to be perfectly honest. For an umpire not to give that out, there must be something seriously wrong with them. Or the batsman's gone and got an inside edge. But Watling gone for 54, coming off 65 deliveries, which is what we needed in the situation. And now a lot of emphasis comes down to, I guess, New Zealand's 3 and 4, which has been New Zealand's 3 and 4 for a wee while now. Williamson and Taylor. Both of them really need to go and bat deep into this innings. Most of this tour, most of this one-day series, we have been chasing. So it is a bit different really to judge, where we should be at certain stages. Whereas when you're chasing, it is very easy. You can see if the required run rate is going up or down. So I think, on this pitch, especially with our bowling attack, our bowlers are going very well. I think if we can get somewhere possibly around, that 230, 240, I think we are going to be in good shape. But if we continue to lose wickets like we have at pretty frequent intervals lately, then it is going to make it a little bit more tough for us. So Taylor going there for 4. Worker coming in now. We will get an opportunity to see him in action. Remember, I did talk him up quite a lot before he did come out to bat. So I hope he can score me some runs here. Otherwise, it is going to make me look just a little bit silly. But he gets off nicely there. His second ball heads away to the boundary for 4. And the issue we have now is we've got 2 new players in at the crease. So we can't, again, generate that strike rate. That's what we're looking to go and try and get. Williamson, he's hanging in there. He looks to be playing a bit of the anchor role at the moment, whereas Worker is going to be the more aggressive of the 2. Ashwin not really bowling too well for him. It's quite wide outside off stump, and basically I think all 3 of his boundaries have been pushes out through that offside, through that cover and point region. So, but saying that, he gets straighter. Worker gets down on one knee and sweeps it away for another 4. So he's doing well. He's got that strike rate up, which does take a little bit of pressure off Williamson. It allows him to go and play that anchor role, as we said. It allows him to go and get in, stay in, hopefully, and produce us with a big score, see us through to the 50 overs. So this is where the partnership is good. And I talked about partnerships a lot going back to Don Bradman 14. That, you know, it's not just about you. Obviously, you're batting with that other guy at the other end. And if one of you can, you know, still be nudging it around, obviously you're not going to want to stay there in a one-dayer and just block it out. But if you can still rotate the strike, especially with a left-right hand partnership, and another guy be slightly more aggressive, it does take the pressure off you hugely, and it allows you to play your natural game, which, you know, for Kane Williamson, I wouldn't say is to survive, but is really to nudge it around and probably attack more in that last, you know, 15 to 20 overs, you would say. That's when, if he's still in, he can really go and start to pick the gaps. Now, by attacking, I don't mean that he goes over the top. He doesn't do anything over aggressive. He just plays good, genuine cricket shots. I don't know what, I was going to lead into something there, but I've completely forgotten what it is. But 35 overs, so this is the stage of the game that I was talking about, that last 15 overs. And if we want to get up towards, as I was saying, that 230, 240, we are really going to have to go and try and make a move sooner rather than later. We do still have Nichols, we've got Colin Munro and Santner left to come. So there is still plenty of gas left in the tank for this team. But if these 2 could go and see me through, I would be fairly happy with that. I would be pretty content if they could go and do that. But we need to keep that scoreboard ticking over. We need to keep going at this stage at least 6 and over. There is an edge from Williamson, and it is going to be taken by that man out of the deep. So just as we tried to up the ante just a little bit, Williamson is gone. Bowled Kumar, caught by Darwan, and that brings young Henry Nicholls into the fold. As I said, he had a good test series. I don't think he played all 3 tests, but the one that he did play definitely did score 100, so I'm happy with that. I think that was the game possibly, we lost that series 1-0. I think it was one of those drawn games that he went, and that's where we are. Essentially, I just went out and was looking just to make sure that we didn't lose the game, which we didn't do in the end. But Nicholls, this is a great chance for him really to cement that place in the top 5. And I think that's something that he hasn't really done for the Blackcaps since he has been included in the side. You know, he hasn't really taken his opportunities. I don't see him as a test player by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think he should be in the test side. A limited overs player, yes, he is very good, very aggressive, as we've seen here with a 4 and a 6 off the last couple of balls in the over. But yeah, as a test player, I do not see Henry Nicholls as a test player. Definitely as a one-day and a T20 player, he can be very good, very aggressive, and when he gets it right. I mean, he's shown in the Big Bash, for those in New Zealand who have been watching, that, you know, he can score runs and can score them at a good click. He has been, I think he's up towards one of the leading run scorers in the competition in the T20 Big Bash here in New Zealand. So hopefully he can get some runs here. He can get some runs in the one-day and the 4-day competition for Canterbury, and he can translate that form if he does get a recall into the Blackcaps. Because I think, you know, he is still young. I think he's only about 23, 24. So there still is a lot of time left in his international career to get him going. But we, as I said, we are going to have to up the ante here. We've still got Munro and Santner. I don't really want to leave them out in the aim of, you know, I don't want to leave Munro and Santner on the sidelines for the sake of maintaining these 2's wickets. I mean, Worker is moving very, very closely up towards his 50. He might even possibly have it at this stage. But Nicholls, he's been good since he's come in. He's been aggressive, so hopefully he can continue to do the same. And Worker's been good too. As I said, he's had a pretty good tour so far. He has gone past 50. He's on 58 off 62. But he's had a pretty good tour of India, and it has been very useful having that guy, you know, coming in at number 5, number 6, that can just bowl. Like, I haven't used him as a first choice bowler He's just a guy who comes in, probably won't bowl me a full 10 overs. But, you know, if I can just get through maybe 3 or 4 with him, it does make it easier, and it takes a bit of pressure off, you know, the frontline bowlers, off the Bolts, off the Wheelers, off the Milne, especially if they're getting taken to a little bit. If they're getting hit around, you know, you can go and bowl them a bit less. And if you can sneak through, which is what I've done in a few of these one-day internationals, sneak through even 10 overs between Worker and Munro, you're doing very, very well. So hopefully we can have an opportunity to do that here again today. We've got 4 overs left to go. That 230, 240 is looking a lot more likely now since these two have started to go a bit more aggressive. Worker is just hitting it to all parts of the ground now. Traditionally an opening batsman, but he has, I think, played for New Zealand at number 4 or number 5. Again, he's a guy who I wouldn't say hasn't taken his opportunities when they have arisen in the black jersey, but he just hasn't really been given too much of a chance. He is a very good limited overs, very good 50-over player. Again, a handy T20 cricketer because he does bowl that little bit of off spin. So that does make it just helps, you know, as I said, when you have that guy inside, not necessarily your top 6, because normally 6 is reserved for your all-rounder, your pure all-rounder spot. If you've got a guy inside the top 5 who can, you know, just bowl a little bit. Again, not 10 overs worth, but if you can get through 3, 4, possibly even 5, as I said, it does just make it a hell of a lot easier on the guys who are in the side for bowling, especially if they're not having the best of days. If they're off sync a little bit, it does make it a lot easier. So hopefully we can get some runs, I was going to say, off these last couple of balls. Move up towards 250, which is what we've done. We've got 248 actually, so I'm not too fussed about that. Nichols has got 50 coming off just 32 deliveries, so a great knock from him, and that was needed in that situation there. So we are going to head in now, and hopefully between Milne, Wheeler, and Bolt, I was going to say Worker, but Worker probably will have a part to play, I would say, with the ball later on in the game. But that's not the best of starts. A 4 coming off that second ball of Adam Milne's over. And I basically, in one day in T20, I just go to this defensive field from the outset. Especially in India, obviously such good players, and they can take a game away from you very, very quick. So if you put that defensive field in and just look to probably more try and restrict, and that's what we have done in the past, and it has worked well for us. So we just need some wickets, because that is where India have struggled. We have took a lot of wickets in this one-day series. Obviously, it has changed a little bit because we're not doing what we usually do, which is chase. Normally, we're out there, obviously, trying to contain, you would have to say, in the first innings. But we can't do that here today. And both Rahane and Dhawan have got off to a very, very good start. But we've done well. I think, you know, we just want to try and keep raising that run rate up. If we can get through these first 10 overs, potentially try and pick up a wicket, because, again, that's going to make it easier for us. But if not, again, it's not the end of the world. We do have some good players in the form of Wheeler left to come. I was going to say I thought we had another all-rounder, but not the case. Oh, Benny Wheeler! What a inspirational change from the skipper. Rahane gone for 20 off 29, bowled Wheeler, caught by Santner, but that has brought in the captain of this Indian side, Virat Kohli. We know how dangerous he can be, so if we can pick him up early as well, that is going to make things a lot easier for us. So the only one thing I didn't really think about in this game is that I am going to have to use both Worker and Munro as that 5th bowling option for me, just because, again, I don't have that pure all-rounder in the side. But again, hopefully that doesn't come to hurt us too much. It probably is best if we can pick up 2 quick wickets. I think if we can get rid of Dhawan and Kohli, it is going to make it a lot easier for us to introduce those guys into the attack, just because otherwise they could get taken for a little bit. Saying that, they could still get taken, and we don't want to use Bolt anymore. He's used 7 overs already. We'll bring Munro in just to give him a chance. But as I said, Munro, well, between Munro, Santner, and Worker, we're going to have to get through 20 overs. So, again, ooh, that's a pretty dodgy LBW decision, I would say. It is going on to just hit leg, but, man, as a batter, you've got to be disappointed with that one. You'd think you would probably survive that. Dhawan gone for 33. Wheeler picks up his second in his 3rd over. So he's doing his job. And this is where, hopefully, as I said, Munro, if we can get through... I was going to say, just get through some overs. I wasn't expecting to pick up a wicket, but Munro gets Sharma for 1, and that is perfect. That's exactly what we want, and it's something that has just seemed to work with Colin Munro. He just seems to pick up wickets and just seems to be economical. So, as I said, if I can get through 5, possibly even more overs with him, because remember, we aren't playing that out-and-out 5th bowling option today. We're going with Munro and Worker as that one there. If we can get through, if I can get through a lot of overs early on and even pick up some wickets, then I am going to be extremely happy with Munro. But that's a trade-off. If you come up against someone as good as Kohli, you may get taken to. But in saying that, when players are playing aggressively, it does give you an extra opportunity to pick up that wicket. You know, they're going to go and try and take to you, gives you potentially a chance in the outfield for a catch. Also gives you a chance to maybe try and sneak one through underneath the bottom of the bat. But as you can see, sometimes the experiment doesn't quite work out the way we would like. You know, he does go and get taken for a few runs. He has picked up that wicket. And again, if I did have that out-and-out 5th bowling choice today, I wouldn't still be bowling him. But I do need to get through some overs with him. I'm going to try and get through some overs with Worker as well. Again, just to build that pressure and just allow, you know, a bit of extra time. We are going to have to use them today. We are going to have to get through 10 overs between them. And as I said, hopefully we can do what Munro did and pick up a wicket. Otherwise, we are going to be in a bit of a sticky situation. But India have stuck pretty much at the required run rate for this entire innings. Come on, Munro. We need another one just to sneak through, just to get through the defences of Kohli or Manish Pandey. Again, just to help us out, because otherwise we are going to be in a little spot of bother. So I think Munro has bowled 5 overs. He has, as I said, been pretty good. He got that wicket for us. I think he's only gone for about 25, which in the context of the game isn't too bad. He's actually bowled 6. So I'm going to bring in Santner now and bring back some of the pace bowlers, the out-and-out guys who are in the team to take us some wickets, just because this partnership is starting to take the game away from New Zealand just a little bit. So we are going to go and try and pull things back into line if we can with a bit of pace from Adam Milne. And hopefully just a change of pace can get us a wicket. Outside edge, a slip would have probably taken it. But at this stage of the game, you can't, I was going to say you can't really afford to have a slip in. But oh, that's a play and a miss. I thought that one there was an outside edge, but not the case. And we are going to need Santner, Slinky Santner, to get through some overs and potentially try and pick us up some wickets as well, because otherwise, the game, as I said, is going to start to get away from us. Only 248, sorry, I was going to say 43, but 248 is the target here for India, and they're going along quite nicely. The required run rate continues to jump up. We are actually through 30 overs of play. You wouldn't pick that. And we've done a pretty good job to keep it where it is. But off the last 19, only needing 102, with all those wickets left in the bag, is going to make it quite difficult. And I did say before this game that Virat Kohli was the one-day captain this side. I believe that is false because MS Dhoni is still playing. He's due to come in next. So he would definitely be the captain of the side. So I do apologise to any Indian fans about that. But if things keep going this way, then we could be in, I was going to say, for a shorter game. Because Kohli and Pandey are just smashing it at the moment, and that's something that we cannot afford. We need some wickets. Wickets are key in this here, and I think that is actually Manish Pandey's 100, not 100, his 50. I was going to say possibly the 100 partnership that's come up, but it must be pretty close. But 50 for him, coming off just 54 balls. Kohli's gone past 50 as well. He's 59 off 64 before we went into this over. And we just don't, I must say, we don't even really look like taking a wicket at the moment, which is an issue. That run rate has gone down below 5 for the first time in the game. And that is just the luck. When things aren't going your way, you do get those little edges that seem to head down and just elude your players more than anything. I'm going to bring back Ben Wheeler because he was our wicket-taking guy last time around. And hopefully he can do it again. But come on, give me a run out. Oh, give me a run out. I think he's safe anyway. But a good bit of fielding. I'm not too sure who that's by. But not out. Ben Wheeler, I need you to get me some wickets. I'm going to go... There's no point here, I think, in going and using... saving, I should say, rather than using. There's no point going and saving the likes of Bolt and Wheeler to take it down to the last few overs. I want to go and get the wicket here now, just, again, to make it easier on ourselves. But I don't know. If we get through these guys, if we get rid of them, it is only Santner, Munro, and Worker that we've got left to bowl. So that's a risk that we do have to take. But we need a wicket here. Otherwise, we are in deep, deep crap. And there's another one that's headed away. So we did start off well with those couple of wickets. But since then, Kohli and Pandey have come in and absolutely smashed it to all parts of the ground. He's got back-to-back fours here in this over. It has, I was going to say, already gone. Oh, hit and he's gone. Yes! That is just what we needed. We needed the run out. I don't think it's Pandey. Sorry, I don't think it's Kohli, though. It is Manish Pandey. But that does give us, I was going to say, a slight hint. It means that we can go and, as much as I want to say try and bog down MS Dhoni, because he is such a good limited overs player, it does give us an opportunity to bowl to a newer batsman rather than Kohli, who is sitting very, very close to another one-day 100. I think he's on 91 before we went into this game. So as you can see, all our out-and-out bowlers have been used now. So this is the issue that we have. Obviously, 7 overs left to go and only 35 runs left to play with. So we are really going to need probably a bit of magic, to be honest, to try and survive this game. With Santner and Munro left to come. He might have... Oh! Are you beauty? Maybe the miracle is still on, boys. Santner gone, caught by Latham. Sorry, Dhoni gone. Bowled Santner, caught Latham. Rishi Darwan in now. And you would be expecting at this stage of the game Virat Kohli to basically be farming the strike. If we can get him, which I think we possibly have done, boys. Whoo! Colin Munro, you little legend. He is keeping us in this game and keeping us alive in this potential whitewash of India. Look at that swing. Either that or that's come off the pitch. Kohli just misses out on the 100. Very well batted from him, though. 96. And all of a sudden, Rishi Darwan and Jadeja in. And India are in a bit of spot of bother as Munro picks up another one. Who is this Munro guy? And where has his bowling come from? He gets Darwan for one. Again, another catch by Latham. He's been good behind the stumps today. But, man, oh man, Colin Munro, new death bowling specialist, you'd have to say, for the Black Caps. That one there has just been played at and missed. No edge on that one, but appealing for everything at the moment just to try and get something out of the umpire. And things are going very well. That's going to ease a bit of the Indians' pressure with Akshar Patel taking Santner for a 4 in the first ball of the over. Again, we need another wicket here just to slow things down, get a new batsman out into the crease. But things, once again, I must say, we are only 4 episodes in to this career mode series with New Zealand. But we have had some of the closest games you could ever imagine on the channel. That one there surely has taken the outside edge, but no, not the case. It is just a play and a miss. I do get a bit excited there, I thought, with the big swing. That one there has gone through, though. Oh, my God. Patel gone to Santner for 5. It is the Santner and Munro show at the moment, getting the job done. 22 needed off the last 3 overs. Munro is going to finish off. He is going to bowl out here, which is very good. Another play and a miss from Jadeja this time. Only 2 off the over so far as well. But I did speak too soon, as that one there has gone for the maximum. That is going to make things easier for the Indians in these last 2 overs. Need 14 off 12. And a no ball first up or a wide from Sants is definitely not going to help. That one there has been spanked away by Ashwin as well for a 6. And things might just not have enough runs on the board. It does only take 2 bits of magic, remember, for us to go and get this win. But I think it will be done and dusted now, as Ashwin has hit Santner for a 6 and a 4 off his first 2 balls of this last over for him. Potentially that one there has taken the edge, but it is just played and missed that. So just the 3 runs needed. So you'd have to say that they are going to get up here. And Ashwin smoking that one for a 6, and what an emphatic way to finish things off. He finishes 17 off 7. India win by 2 wickets, and New Zealand narrowly miss out on the clean sweep. As we can see, so close to a clean sweep, but New Zealand win the series 4-1. I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. Do hope you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, this is Cliffy, your king of career mode, and New Zealand's #1. God, I get to get this right. New Zealand's #1 source of Don Bradman cricket content. Signing out.